This is Sergeant Chris Richardson with the Tennessee Highway Patrol, here to explain the Tennessee Hands-Free Law, which is a new state law effective July 1st, 2019. In Public Chapter 412, it makes it illegal for a driver any part of their body to write, send, or read communication, to reach for a cell phone or mobile device in a manner that requires the driver to no longer be in a seated driving position or properly restrained by a seatbelt, to watch a video or a movie on a cell phone or a mobile device, and to record or broadcast video on a cell phone or mobile device. So, can I still talk on my cell phone while driving? Yes. A driver is permitted to use an earpiece, headphone device, or a device worn on a wrist to conduct a voice-based communication. The driver may use one button on a cell phone or mobile device to initiate or terminate voice communication, and voice-based communication may also be used to send a text message. Learn more at handsfreetn.com.
CJ Used Appliances, located at 3530 Jackson Avenue here in Memphis, Tennessee. Call them at 901-487-7882. CJ Used Appliances has the best prices in town, sales and service, heating and air. Also the best appliances you'll find anywhere in the Mid-South. Refrigerators, microwave stoves, washers and dryers, deep freezers, dishwashers, whatever you need in used appliances. And folks, I'll tell you, they're the best used appliances anywhere you'll find. That's CJ Used Appliances, 3530 Jackson Avenue. All appliances come with warranty. You can call them at 901-487-7882. Again, 901-487-7882. CJ Used Appliances. Graphics Printing, located at 890 East Range Road in Memphis, a complete print shop for all your printing needs. They do it all: color copies, resumes, funeral programs, rubber stamps, full-color business cards, wedding and graduation invitations, and more. 30-plus years of quality work and service. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., located at 890 East Range Road in Memphis, Tennessee, 901-345-9294. C Graphics Printing.
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson with the Tennessee Highway Patrol. Pedestrian safety is a two-way street. Both drivers and walkers need to do their part to keep roads safe. When you're walking, remember, the drivers may not always see you, so remember to use these tips to continue to walk safely. Wear bright clothes. Always use crosswalks and obey signs. Lights and reflectors should be used. And finally, keep alert and do not walk distracted. This message brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Patrol.
C&S Motors Auto Sales, located at 2508 Summer Avenue here in Memphis, Tennessee. Call them at 901-323-8778. C&S Motors Auto Sales has been around since 1984. Go by and see Chris today for some of the best pre-owned and used vehicles in the city. They have SUVs, minivans, cars, trucks, whatever you're looking for in pre-owned used vehicles. Hey, you can find it right there at C&S Motors Auto Sales. See Chris since 1984. They will treat you right. Call them at 901-323-8778. That's 901-323-8778, 2508 Summer Avenue, C&S Motors Auto Sales.
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson with the Tennessee Highway Patrol, here to explain the Tennessee Hands-Free Law, which is a new state law effective July 1st, 2019. In Public Chapter 412, it makes it illegal for a driver to hold a cell phone or a mobile device with any part of their body, to write, send, or read any text-based communication, to reach for a cell phone or mobile device in a manner that requires the driver to no longer be in a seated driving position or properly restrained by a seatbelt, to watch a video or a movie on a cell phone or a mobile device, and to record or broadcast video on a cell phone or mobile device. So, can I still talk on my cell phone while driving? Yes. A driver is permitted to use an earpiece, headphone device, or a device worn on a wrist to conduct a voice-based communication. The driver may use one button on a cell phone or mobile device to initiate or terminate voice communication, and voice-based communication may also be used to send a text message. Learn more at handsfreetn.com.
CJ Used Appliances, located at 3530 Jackson Avenue here in Memphis, Tennessee. Call them at 901-487-7882. CJ Used Appliances have the best prices in town, sales and service, heating and air. Also the best appliances you'll find anywhere in the Mid-South. Refrigerators, microwave stoves, washers and dryers, deep freezers, dishwashers, whatever you need in used appliances. And folks, I'll tell you, they're the best used appliances anywhere you'll find. That's CJ Used Appliances, 3530 Jackson Avenue. All appliances come with warranty. You can call them at 901-487-7882. Again, 901-487-7882. CJ Used Appliances.
You're listening to Talk Back Live with Bob and Josh. Talking about current events and topics that matter. Call in now, 901-213-6020. 901-213-6020. Now, here's Bob and Josh.
listening on the Spreaker app, you can follow us there on Twitter at TalkBackLive. Also Facebook, facebook.com/TalkBackLive with Bob and Josh. Like our Facebook page, check us out there. Also, Talkback Live Network on Facebook and WTBL Talkback Live Network on Facebook as well. Those 3 pages. We're live on all 3 pages currently, simultaneously, where you can view us, as well as the Spreaker app, which I just mentioned, SPREAKER. If you're on the move, if you're on the go, you know what I'm saying, and you can't necessarily watch it, you're driving or whatever you want to do, go to Spreaker, and you can plug us in your radio, however you want to do it. Put us in your earbuds, and while you're walking, you may be working out, running, and want to listen to us, you can do that as well. Just go to Spreaker, free app you can download on any device you may have, and then search Talkback Live. That's one word, Talkback Live, and you can find all of our shows live and podcasted on there as well.
All right. And sounds good to me. And I tell you what, after this long weekend, and a lot of you hope you had a good weekend and starting your week off. And this is Thanksgiving week, and we've got some hot topics to talk about this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I tell you what, Josh, let's get it on.
Let's get it on. I guess we might as well get into the headlines.
And in the headlines today, we've got I tell you what, folks, we've got a couple of headlines to talk about today. Oh, I tell you, that will make, I don't know, it'll
Make you think.
It'll make you think. It'll make you want to respond. But yeah, we need your response on some of these things we were talking about today. And let the people know what's going on around us and your opinion as well that needs to be heard. Well, now some people are back in the news again. You hadn't heard from in a while, but we're going to talk about them as well. Let's talk about it. Judge Joe Brown is back in the news.
Oh,
what's
Judge
going
Joe.
on with the judge?
Well, Judge Joe, one thing about Judge Joe Brown, we've met him, we've talked to him and all that stuff. Yeah. And most notably when he was running for district attorney in Memphis, he was on the show multiple times around that time. And that was when people started to see, well, sometimes Judge Joe can, as some people say, shoot off and get into some things.
I think he would have won that if it wasn't for a few technicalities.
Yes.
On his own.
It was his own fault, honestly. He had that thing open and shut.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, he speaks out on a lot of things. He doesn't mind speaking his mind on anything. And here's another case. So most recently, he did an interview with a man named Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar Johnson. He's the topic of discussion on the show as well, and that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But they did an interview, and they were talking about Harriet Tubman and Judge Joe Brown's thoughts on her and the $20 bill. Now, another topic we discussed last year. The topic was first raised up. Kelly said that ninja Joe Brown. That's right. When it was first raised up about Harriet Tubman being put on the $20 bill, everybody's like, okay, this is a great thing. Who would have thought that America would do something like that? But according to Judge Joe Brown, everything is not as it seems with this situation, and it is all a conspiracy against the black man.
Putting a black woman on a $20 bill or any bill before you put a black man on there, it's an outrage. It's a disgrace.
According to Judge Joe Brown.
According to Joe Brown. What do you think about that?
And we have some exclusive audio as well of said interview in which he said these things. So I'm going to want y'all to take a listen to this shortly.
And there's a lot of things in here he said. Want your comment on the things that were said and the questions that were asked and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your opinion on those things? And the phone line is open 901-213-6020 as well. Josh, are we ready to roll?
Yes, I just wanted to get a couple watch parties going before I started it.
And yes, Umar Johnson, Greg said, gets the hard. What that?
Side eye.
Side eye. Okay.
Yeah, it looks at him sideways.
Yeah,
I understand. If y'all remember Umar Johnson, he said a lot of things, but he also said he was related to Frederick Douglass, and I think that was proven to not be true. At one point, he started a war with other woke folks. But anyway, that's another topic. Yeah. But here's the situation. I want to get it plain now since we got some folks looking at this. Let's take a listen to what Mr. Judge Joe Brown had to say, and it was quite a bit.
Take a listen to this, folks. We'll be back.
Round one, fight!
I got a question for you, Judge, if I could. Yes, sir. Because I would hate for any listeners, and particularly feminists, to misinterpret your comments earlier on Queen Mother Harriet Tubman.
I don't give a goddamn about feminists. They can go straight to hell, and I know they hate themselves because they got two X chromosomes instead of an XY. They are fraudulent, self-hating, and they're sick.
Well, I also wanted to clarify for me as well, Judge, because I know you had mentioned Thurgood Marshall, Dr. King, Frederick Douglass, and I just wanted to clarify with you that your comments were not suggestive of saying that by doing the Harriet Tubman movie that somehow undermined the works of those great male leaders, because that's what it kind of sounded
doesn't.
like.
But the objective is, I've heard it from the Hollywood sources I have. These feminists are trying to do this movie so they can get a black woman put on a $20 bill. And they have no interest in this movie is to soften the public up to the idea of taking a black woman who frees slaves by leading to freedom and getting her or another one like her on a $20 bill. They can't get a white woman, so they want a black woman. They don't care. They just want a woman, and it downs masculinity. Now, everybody on a bill is not a dead president. Don't forget Ben Franklin. He was never a president, so that's plenty of precedent to put in somebody black who was never a president. Like, let's say if we want to go back to the 19th century, like all of the rest of the people are on there, died off in the 19th century or the 18th century. We've got Ben Franklin, so we can have Frederick Douglass.
Okay. But do you?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but you don't have a problem with a black woman, and in this case, Harriet Tubman, being memorialized in whatever way that comes. You don't have a problem with that, do you? Or do you?
I
have
got
a problem
big problem if it's on a bill before they put a black man's face on one. I have a big problem with that.
Why do
because
you have a problem
historically,
with a black
the status
woman?
of an ethnic group is determined by its men, not its women. And that you put a black woman on there before a black man is insulting to the black race because you're saying the men ain't worth a damn. Put a woman up there first.
I disagree.
Well,
I disagree. I don't think.
I won't. And the other
putting
thing is,
Harriet,
black male leadership.
Honoring a black woman
need
does
to
not
lead the black race by saying impose your sense of responsibility on motherhood is raising some young men instead of these little monsters that you have running around the house where you don't want to have a father involved with them. Start being real mothers and pay attention to it. That's what
honoring a black woman, Judge. How is that an insult to black men? I don't understand that.
Because if they had a black man on there, it wouldn't be. But if you put a black woman first, that's an insult to black men. Harriet Tubman rescued 200 bitches. She rescued maybe 200
you, more than that. Judge.
Well, it
more
may
than
be,
that.
but there were black men that did something better than that too. There's one that's down here featured at a house going into North Memphis here, where they had an underground railroad, and the brother got several thousand black slaves to freedom. Okay. But they don't even commemorate him, and you can't even learn about it.
But Judge Joe,
unless you happen to walk in that monument.
But wouldn't
so
you
what
agree?
The hell they don't think they do it because you led somebody to freedom?
Judge,
why don't they get the problem?
Judge, wouldn't you agree that Frederick Douglass, Dr. King, and Thurgood Marshall have all been exceedingly more celebrated and remembered in both black history and American history than Queen Mother Harriet Tubman? They need to put them on a bill and show respect. They've got a homicidal maniac, Andrew Jackson, on a $20 bill. They've got a non-president, Benjamin Franklin, on a $50 bill. They've got Grant. They've got every Calvin Coolidge on a damn bill. Douglas and King have been written about more than any other black hero in American history. Why not give not give black women their opportunity, Judge? I don't care. Not you put a black man on there first, because the thing of it is they are not going to lynch. They are not going to generally lynch black women. They'll rape them, but they'll lynch the black men. If they would have caught Harriet Tubman, they would have lynched the daughters. If they would have caught Harriet Tubman, they would have lynched them. They go in and deal with getting rid of the men. If they would have caught Harriet Tubman, they would have lynched the judge. Stand and deliver, sacrifice self, be the last in the damn lifeboat when the women and children get in there first. You put a black man on the corner. I hope you're not. Okay. I hope you're not. I'm sorry. There's no way you can convince me. I hope you're not a male chauvinist, Judge. I hope you're not a male chauvinist. I am a male chauvinist.
Radio. Loving, more compassionate way of raising.
Okay. All right. Wow. What do you think, folks? Now, I know Judge Joe Brown has said some things in the past. He's done some things, and he's caused people to look at him sideways, up ways, down ways, and right ways, and wrong ways.
Continually.
And so now, does that mean that everything that Judge Joe Brown says and does is wrong, though? Okay, are we looking at him because of some of the craziness, the crazy things that he's done, and you can't look at him in a straight way anymore, or as a guy that can say something that makes sense?
A lot of people see him now as, and look, even myself to a degree, even though I still think he's not an idiot by any means,
right? But
with some of his actions, has kind of made him less credible than he would be.
Okay, but seems like does it seem like that people are ignoring everything he says now, and that there's nothing he can say that can be right or make sense or whatever the case may be? Is it totally wrong here about Judge Joe Brown talking about the black woman being on any type of money first before the black man? Now, look at it from the perspective that he's trying to talk to us about. Now, I'm not going to overlook what he's saying just because, I know Judge Joe Brown has made some, well, yeah, you know what I mean.
And we talked about
it. But the thing about it is he wrong here, though?
Does he have a point?
Does he have a point here?
Anything you said.
Or do we just want to just throw that point out and not try to look into it and see if it makes sense? Now, the man is the head of the wife or the woman, and the woman that's the creative order. So you have God, Jesus, then you have the man, then you have the woman. So is he making it from that perspective, do you think, or should we?
Let's get into it a little bit different now, because I get that point. And I think, and I know we're gonna get into it, but what I'm saying is, as far as that is concerned,
yeah,
I think that has nothing to do with the money. Like you can't qualify, and I'm not saying it's what you're doing,
right.
but I'm just saying you can't lump that in with in this instance with a $20 bill. Now, to me,
well, no. This is what I'm saying.
I know
what I'm saying.
I know.
Okay, so if we put the black woman on the money first before a black man, that's gonna be throughout history, is what Judge Joe Brown is saying.
Mm-hmm.
You can't reverse that. That's done. The black woman was known to be first on the money before the black man, and you look at other people that are on the money. You know, you have other men that are on the money and that type of thing. So, and like you said, there are people on there that shouldn't be on the money, really, to be honest.
No question.
You.
And that's why I agree with Judge Joe when he was talking about Andrew Jackson.
All right, so should we allow a black man to be on there? Are there black men in position that have done things that can be on the $20 bill or any other bill for? As far as that concerned, it don't have to be on the $20 bill. It could be on something else or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Take some of them other jerks off of the money that shouldn't be on there and put a black man on there. I don't care if it's the $2 bill. I don't care if the $5 bill, whatever it may be. But do you think that he has a point here as far as the men being out front and should be number one, and that the black men are being overlooked here in this particular case, like they've always, in some cases, some people feel they've been, and respecting the black woman. Now, I know for a fact that in a lot of places where you go, they will hire black women in management and things like that. And I've seen a lot of black women in management, and black men have not. It's been difficult for them to get there. Why? Why is that? You know, and so we don't want to keep something like that flowing because, you know, you see black women doing this or in management or appointed to this and that type of thing. I'm not saying that's the case everywhere, but you do see that quite a bit. The black woman is up before the black man.
That's very true.
Why is that though? You know, but we need to find out.
So
you know, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. Now, and here's the thing. When you talk about the dynamic, right? What is happening here? That's what I'm curious about. Now, the questions that Judge Joe is raising is, you know, aside from a lot of that rambling, because there's a lot of rambling going on because of his, you know, passion about this situation, it seems like. But you put that aside, what he's saying is that this is another way to marginalize the black man. Because if you think about it, what's going to end up happening, most likely, is if Harriet Tubman gets on the $20 bill, that is going to be the only representative of...
Call from Amira.
The only just to read it real quick, the only representative of black people, period.
Yeah. Okay, hang on. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. The only representative of black people, period, is what people feel if they put Harriet Tubman on there. They say, okay, we got a black person and we got a woman, so now we don't have to worry about anything else. But I guess my question is, should that even matter at the end of the day?
Okay. Well, let's go to the phone lines, and welcome to the show. Good morning on a Monday.
Amira?
Yes, Amira, as in a reflection of God. You see yourself in a mirror, and so you're supposed to see God when you see yourself. So.
Okay, in a mirror. Thank you.
I have a mirror, so yeah. Okay.
Yes, I had to preach real quick. Genesis 1:26-27 teaches us that God created us in His own image, so we are products of God. So.
Yes.
But I do want to speak on the topic at hand. The reason that they do not put our beautiful black men in positions of power is because they fear us. They fear our men. And they do not want our men to usurp authority over them.
Okay.
They don't want our men to be able to know that they are black kings. They don't want our men to know that they are beautiful and powerful, and our men who need to know. Our men need to know that, just like I just told you, we are reflections of God. Just like one of my clients, Stevie Baggs Jr., teaches us that our hair grows up to God. We are the only species of people, well, not species, but race of people whose hair grows up to God. We are descendants of God. So they fear that. And there is a quote that I got the person that says it, but it's basically saying that we don't know how wonderful we are. We don't know that, and the Bible teaches us that we are fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes.
So, but society and the media and television told us that slavery was our beginning, when that's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Hannibal was not a man who ate people. Hannibal was a king in Africa.
Mm. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? They try to take our name. Malachi was not a boy in the children of the corn. Malachi was a man in Africa, a great man in Africa. They take our names and they demean them.
Right.
They take our names and they tear them down. They tell us our name is Toby and not Kunta Kinte.
Right. Well, go ahead, John.
So in that, do you think, and we're talking about the Harriet Tubman thing, do you think, do you feel like that's an angle in that whole thing? How do you feel about that?
That is his story. Mm-hmm. That's why they took Michael Jackson, because he had the album History. That's their story. They try to take our story and taint it and turn it around, put somebody like Julia in it, because they don't think that our children know who Harriet Tubman was and that she was a black woman. They try to teach us that we were lowly, filthy rags, and that is not the case.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you
see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that whole whitewashing of the entertainment industry is about to crumble, because the truth shall make you free, and the truth is going to come to light at some point, and it's starting to come out. So people know that Harriet Tubman was a black woman that was the Moses of her people. You cannot take, just like they did Cleopatra with what's that lady's name, Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah.
And tried to make her Cleopatra was not white; she's black. So we better be careful and get some trips to Egypt before they take the hieroglyphics and instead of making them take them from being brown to white people.
Well, painting them beige, But
right.
But I hear what you're saying. You're making some good points. Now, I don't know if you heard, because we were talking about Judge Joe Brown bringing up Harriet Tubman. He feels that bringing her on the $20 bill is an insult to black men. So, now, how do you feel about that?
Because I'm glad you told me about the topic at hand, because I did not hear the beginning of it, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, I do feel that it's good that we need to have her on there. However, we do need some black men images there as well. So I don't want – that's the thing. They pit us against each other. The man against the woman, the elders against the youth, you see those in the mothers against the daughters, the fathers against the sons. No, united we stand, divided we fall. So Judge Joe Brown, I love you from Memphis. You represent on TV. However, we do need black men's images. So I pray Barack Obama will be on the $100 bill eventually, but at the same time, because I love our black men, we need our black men as the head of the household, because of course the system took it to where they gave our women housing, they gave our women welfare, food stamps, and I don't need no man, I got this. No, we do need our men.
Right.
And we do need that cohesive unit, that family unit together of the family structure. And so yes, we do need the black man on our money that it says in God we trust, because we are images of God. So we do need the images of our black man on. But the same thing, I still think Harriet Tubman should still be on the $20 bill as well. But
I believe. Now, listen. I believe that she should, but should she be first? That's Judge Joe Brown's point.
Well, it doesn't matter about who's first. It's still a stepping stone. It doesn't mean that just because Harriet Tubman is first, that it's only going to be black women. That is like an icebreaker, putting a black woman, because we are God. To be honest, we are the creators of life.
But should we? Should we allow even though women have done great things and should be acknowledged, should we allow a black man first to be put on there, because robbing us of
listen,
putting the black man on there?
The last shall be first and the first shall be last. It does not matter what order it is in. As long as ground has been broken by putting a black image, period, on our money, that is what we need. And if you think about it, really, even though our men are the stronger sex, you all are our protectors. You protect the queen.
Mm-hmm.
So how many times have you seen a baby being born by somebody ripping a rib out of a man?
Mm-hmm.
No, never.
Yeah.
The baby is born by the womb man, the woman in the womb.
Right.
We
That's
are
what
the
it is.
creators
Mm-hmm.
of life.
Mm-hmm.
So don't get it twisted about, I should have been first. I'm the man. No, you are the man. You still the head of the household. You still are our protectors. But at the same time, a house is not a home unless a woman is in it.
Yeah. Okay, I agree. And, hey, we appreciate your
from
comments and a lot of biblical, things that I recognize there. So we appreciate the call.
Shout out to Coach Hardaway. No, let me
definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
Always.
But yes, I have spoken my piece. I appreciate you guys bringing this topic up. And yes, I love your show, and I want to help promote it. Mirror Image Promotions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. 901-213-6020. And if you'd like, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump in on you. I brought up because there's so many comments came in when she was on the phone. I definitely wanted to get some of them.
Turn my thing down just a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Up a little bit. Okay, right there. That's good. Yes. All right. 901-213-6020. If you'd like to get in on this conversation, what do you think? I mean, is this coming down to a black male or black female situation here? Or should we just say, hey, man, it doesn't matter. Harriet Tubman did some great things. They want to recognize her as the first woman being on the money. It doesn't matter. The black man have to wait. He have to wait his turn. There are no black men out there that we can name that can be on the first. So put her on there, and then
that I don't agree with.
But I mean, if it is, I'm just saying. I'm just making some statements here. So I'm just saying what's maybe going through the minds of the people that are listening, and
you're right.
that type of thing. So what do you think? Well, we got some comments that came in.
Yes,
but phone lines are still open. 901-213-6020. Josh, what do we have?
Well, looking back here, I'm going back quite a bit here. Want to get to as many as I can. I'm going to start with Greg's here. We said Greg says Judge Joe Brown needs to just remain irrelevant.
Oh.
He also says Dr. Umar Johnson gets the hard side eye, which we read earlier. Verdell says him and Umar can have several seats in the fool's corner.
Oh, my God.
So there it is.
Oh. So here we go again. Does that mean, this what you think about Judge Joe Brown? Anything he says is irrelevant? Any and everything he says is irrelevant? Or should we listen to some things that he said or could miss out on something? Go ahead, Judge.
Greg says, Lord, he doesn't sound misogynistic at all. Of course, that's with a sarcastic tone there.
Christine.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, yeah, there it is. Christine says, who in hell left the gate open and let Judge Joe Brown out of there?
Oh, was he in hell? Okay.
Kelly says Judge Joe came here to Marianna, Arkansas, that's where he is, to speak at an NAACP gala some years back. He was the biggest hole ever.
Oh, my God.
He was paid well to do that event, and he had an attitude from the word go. Like he really didn't want to be there.
Oh, wow.
That didn't surprise me, actually. And that's a shame. And that's why I see...
But he does seem a little arrogant.
No, absolutely he's arrogant. And that's
Not a little, but
that's a lot arrogant. And that's what's gotten him in trouble. Even having meeting him, and he's been cool to me.
Yeah.
But he's arrogant and he talks a lot.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Now, even though he's, anybody can be foolish and still make a good point here and there. Yeah. The question is, did he make a good point? That's up to what you guys say here. I'm going to go to Tim because Tim left a lot of comments in a watch party that I put up. And I know some of y'all can't see those comments right now.
No.
So let me go back. Tim here says, why do we have to change our money? We have many things we can do, and this is Tim from Chicago, by the way.
Yeah.
We have many things we can do to recognize great Americans. I think they should find another way because we use less cash now than ever before. Transactions are more electronic than cash.
Okay, so what should we put them on? On a credit card or something? Or,
I don't know.
I mean, their photos on a credit card.
On American Express,
But still, money's going to be relevant regardless.
Yeah.
You know, what is, the money is less used by people, and they're using their cards and things of that nature, online shopping, but still, money's going to be relevant.
Oh, yeah.
It's
always
a big deal to have a person's photo or picture on money. This is a country where you have white people, black people, all kinds of people, and some people will say black people built this country.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, just quoting what they say, if that's the case, then what is the problem about a black person on money?
Which has never happened.
Yeah.
And then here's another comment from Tim. Let's see. Make the argument. Let me read this other one here. He put so many. He says, not wrong. And this is, I think he was responding to the call at the time. Mm-hmm. We have the First Amendment. He can say what he wants, just the same as anyone can disagree. Make an argument and let people decide.
Okay.
And before I read this on the main story, because I'm going to go back to Tim some more here in a moment. I'm going to read his other one here. He said, make the argument for removing one of the founding fathers off the bill. He said, why is changing currency so important? What about coins? Lincoln has the penny. Give Harriet Tubman the penny.
Okay.
He was disagreeing with the caller.
Is there some significance why you put a person on lesser amount of money? A penny? I mean, you're talking when you're talking about a dollar bill or a bill
or 20
bill, money like that, paper. You're talking
That's
about
major.
big time, major stuff. But to say on a penny and things like that.
And Lincoln was major. Lincoln was a big deal, but I can't say that. I would want her on something bigger than a penny.
Yeah,
that's just me. But Greg says he probably didn't, as far as Judge Joe Brown, didn't want to be there. This is a response to the NAACP thing.
Yeah.
Jet says, no. Okay, the phone is learning something. But Jet says, no people attacked Dr. Umar and claimed he was not a descendant of Douglas. It was never proven. Someone just said he wasn't. When I listened to Umar explain his lineage, it just makes sense. And this is a response to Dr. Umar's lineage.
Okay.
But kind of getting to the issue here. Here it is. Jed says, I agree with where he's anchored, but his complete definition is very flawed. This is with Judge Joe Brown on Harriet Tubman. Emasculating black men is the plan by the folks.
And where are you now?
I'm just on the next comment.
Okay, who is that?
Jet.
Okay.
He put another one.
Okay.
I agree with where he's anchored that his complete definition is very flawed. Emasculating black men is the plan by the folks heading this up. But Harriet does belong there first, second, last, etc. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Greg said he agrees. And then, and I know this was to the point of where Amira was talking about how this country's afraid of strong black men, right?
Mm-hmm.
Greg says Barack Obama was the most powerful man in the world for 8 years. So here's a question. Bob, if you want to get to this or anybody else. When you hear that, does that show that America is not afraid of a strong black man because he got elected twice?
Well, that's Barack Obama. I mean, Barack Obama don't speak for the other hundreds of thousands of millions of other black men out there.
Yeah.
Just because one black man made it to the top, that doesn't make it relevant. And that, oh, wow, man that made it in America. No.
Or what I mean is, does that mean that people aren't scared of strong men anymore?
Well, it does. To a degree, I think there's a lot of people that's still afraid of the black man. There's a lot of quote unquote white men or Confederate people, Southern people, whoever, racist people that are out there that that still hate powerful black men. And to me, some people think it shouldn't matter by having a black man in authority first or over a black woman. That means that is very significant to the black race. And I agree. I think that when you look at the black man, the black man is the shield. He's the power of the black race, just like the white man is the power, the shield to the white race. Any man to whatever
of
race
any
they are.
Nation,
of ethnic people, they're the power, they're the covering, they're the source to that race. So when you just casually and nonchalantly say, "Oh, it doesn't matter," put black women up and forget about black men, and eventually somewhere down the line in the sweet by and by, they will put up a black man if they have to put him up on a post office wall.
See, that's a whole nother thing.
They don't mind doing that, but don't put his money. Don't put his picture on the money. Put him on the wall in the post office or something.
That's a whole nother definition right there. But
901-213-6020 is the number to call. But go ahead, John.
Y'all let us know what you think, because it's very controversial, and this situation's catching kind of fire. Even heading into this week, he's challenged people that have a problem with his thoughts on different platforms. So it's going to be interesting to see how this continues to develop. Greg.
Yeah.
Hello, Leon Mapstone, who says hello. Greg says, it doesn't matter who is chosen first to me.
Okay, so
now, honestly, and just my thoughts, when I hear Judge Joe Brown talk about, well, we need to be first. Look, when it comes to like money, it's just not that big a deal when it comes to first or last. But I think the concern should be, is this going to be the only black representative? As far as Harriet Tubman, being the only one.
Yeah, that's something about, because they're not out there just, okay, all right, we're gonna start a revolution on money. We're adding black folk to money, dollar bills, 50s, 100s, thousands, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's something you have to think about.
Call from
Tim.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Tim, welcome to the show. Good morning on a Monday.
Hey, good morning to you guys.
What's happening, fellow Tim?
That's right. So, listen, I am 100% behind, doing anything for any great American. Harriet Tubman was unbelievably important, especially to black Americans. And there's no argument in that. I don't know, taking someone off of the bill like Jefferson or something like that. Jefferson is on the bill, regardless of what his stance was on certain things, and people may not agree with that, and that's understandable. But he was still a founding father. And that's something that, every single thing he did was not bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he was instrumental in what happens today for Americans, okay? Now, slave owner, all that kind of stuff, we know that we don't agree with that. That's not the way our country is right now. But it was then. And again, back and taking him off of the bill does not change history. And this is also where I stand strong and I disagree with the removal of statues and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't change history. I understand we can be a better person, we can be better people as we move forward. I firmly believe that we can be, but that doesn't mean that we have to get rid of someone because of a belief that they had. Like, it doesn't, you don't rewrite the history book the way you want it to be to move forward.
Okay.
And going back to your comment, with the penny and the $5, absolutely not. This is, if the $5 bill isn't enough, then the 20. Well, what about the 50? What about the 100? Mm-hmm. Why? Ben Franklin. Then why don't he wasn't even? You know what I mean? Then why isn't Nikola Tesla? Let's go down the list of important people in this in this country. Nikola Tesla. Is more instrumental than probably any person in history with technology that we have, from the phones that we're talking on today to the electricity that's powering your computers and putting you guys online right now. Now, you want to talk about instrumental people? There's, and again, and I'm not trying to take any light away from Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
That's not it at all. My point is, there's a million arguments to be made, and as far as Amira, God bless her. With all due respect, I disagree with her strongly. We are not afraid of the black man. We put him in the White House twice.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I voted for him once.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's not it. But what do we want? I don't believe that any person, black, white, red, brown, whatever you are, you don't get something because of your color or because of history. You get something because of your qualifications.
True.
You get something because you're the best person for the job.
Now, even though let's say they qualified, do you think Black America are getting the same share or the same thing that white America are getting due to their qualifications? You think that there's
I do, and allow me to respond to this.
Mm-hmm.
I do, because we can sit here and we can run down lists of names of prominent black Americans who, you know what it's about? The listeners can disagree with me, and I'll respect that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it's about? It's about clearing your mind of the white noise. I guess that's a white fight.
There you go.
Clear your mind of that. Quit worrying about. This is. There's no country on earth where immigrants. I can't even sit here and say blacks, but immigrants are treated better than they are in the United States. But if you listen to media, and if you listen to the noise out there, if you listen to all the crap you hear, it doesn't seem that way. Now, I believe this: if you put that stuff to the side, if you sit there and you instead of worrying about what other people are doing, you concentrate on yourself. This is where if you're a salesman, you want to be a realtor. And if you're worried about what the other realtors are doing, you're going to watch them pass you up. If you focus on moving forward instead of fighting a reverse battle, you're going to be amazed how fast and how far you're going to succeed, and the rate in which you're going to succeed.
Okay.
I have no problem. working for anyone who is not the same skin color as me. In fact, I could care less.
Yeah, Tim, there's a lot of you out there. Then there's a lot of there's not a lot of you out there. If I can say that.
I'll be the first.
And that could be on both sides.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I'll say, I'll say this: no matter what you do, you're never in history and this goes both ways. You're never going to eliminate racism. There are black people that are just as racist, if not more than white. And you know what I mean? So that isn't going to go away. You can always find someone who's an a-hole. You can always find that. That's real easy.
Oh, yeah.
Now, sitting there and realizing that their opinion, you know what they say about opinions.
Yeah. Exactly.
Everyone's got one.
Mm-hmm.
And,
just like
and you know what? Theirs doesn't mean any more than yours. It's about what you do with it. You have an opportunity.
you want to work hard, you want to earn it, then go get it. Let me tell you, 12, 13 years ago, I made a career change. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I made a career change because I was really unhappy with where my life was going. I wasn't making enough money. I was tired of struggling. You know what I mean? I wanted more. So I took it upon myself, and I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know. All I knew was what I was getting into, which was industrial construction and safety, which was my full-time job or primary job.
Mm-hmm.
Police, I'm part-time police. So but industrial construction and safety. That I took it upon myself, and I put a couple $1,000 for the credit card debt on me. I had that. I had 9 yards. And then I went out there and I networked, and I found someone who was willing to give me a shot on a job. And since then, it's been nothing but great. And I say, even as the years have gotten on, it's gotten better and better. And now, but I tell you what, nobody gave me anything. You know, I didn't get my first job because, and this will all come back around. I'm not trying to make it about me.
No.
The point is just anybody, anyway. It doesn't. The skin color had nothing to do with it. Literally nothing. But if you want it and you're willing to work for it and go out and get it, and I understand that there are people out there that grew up with fatherless homes, and they don't, they weren't taught work ethic. My dad was a hardworking guy, and he was take zero risk and all. I mean, that's kind of how I was brought up, and I understand that's impactful. That gives me, I guess, an advantage over someone who, was raised on the street. But I always think and know that there's always the other side to the coin, because I know some people that were raised on the street with heroin addicts as two people, heroin addicts as parents. Okay? They raised themselves. They really did, because their parents were junkies. There was times they didn't eat. And they're both them are probably making about $150,000 a year. They have kids, homes. They live in nice communities and all that kind of stuff. And the one thing that they both said is, they never did drugs. They didn't do that. They saw and identified the mess that they were in, and they wanted out. And that's where it comes down to a personal choice when you hit certain ages. It's a personal choice. If you want to sit there and dwell on the shortcomings or a bad hand of cards that you've been given, you can do that. You want to sit there and do the poor me's and woe and all this kind of stuff? Boy, you can do that, and there's a bunch of people that'll join you. But while you're doing that, there's another black American who said, you know what, I'm going to learn how to do some stuff, and then I'm going to go and network, and I'm going to use some people's skills, and I'm going to go and find that job. While you're some people are protesting the $5 bill, this person over there is learning how to make them.
Okay. All right. Tim, we appreciate the call, man. So you think that what Judge Brown was talking about was nothing but a bunch of baloney?
Well, I think Judge Joe Brown is a little boisterous, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
but,
to say the least. Yeah.
And I didn't, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't hear the entire conversation. I think he was probably he was more the leaning towards the radical side, and the other person was probably leaning towards the other. I don't think that conversation had a balance. Yeah, exactly. It didn't really have the part I heard didn't really have a center of the road.
Yeah.
But
okay. All right.
I hate to see people get involved in the white noise out there, and just focus on moving forward. Focus on moving forward instead of moving backwards.
All right, and
good stuff, Tim.
Thanks for the call.
Hey, no problem. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
Yes,
you too, brother.
You too. Happy Thanksgiving. All right, 901-213-6020. Judge Joe Brown, did it make any sense at all, or do you think he had a point? What was his point?
Frankie, I see you just coming in.
Frankie, welcome to the show. Yeah,
and I may play. I know we're gonna have to break here in a minute, but I want to play it again if we can. for some people that may have missed it initially, the Judge Joe Brown situation.
Okay, now, do you think Judge Joe Brown himself want to be on the $20 bill? Is he upset because they chose her, and that he would be a better photo or a picture on the $20 bill because of what he has accomplished and all that other kind of stuff?
Well, for being a TV judge?
I mean, he's a man, though.
Man,
she's a woman.
I mean, Dennis Rodman's a man, too. You want to put him on the bill?
No.
I ain't putting Judge Joe up at Dennis Rodman, but come on.
From
Jet, welcome to the show. Good morning on a Monday.
Jetta. Or Jet.
Good morning. Good morning.
What's going on, sir?
I had to give a call this morning. Tim pulled me out of my slumber this morning.
I felt like I knew you were either type in a long comment or you might call in. But go ahead.
It was too much to type. It was just too much to type. Oh, Mr. Tim is. That's why I like him. Tim, at least for today, you're out again today.
Oh, man.
You back out again. You're on the outside. You're outside of the circle of trust today. I just got to address a couple things. See, Tim doesn't see it, and Tim is. Oh man, I hate to use the term one of the good ones, right? That sounds so wrong.
Well,
but
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah,
he's a decent guy, but you'd almost rather he just be a skinhead and just go that route because it'd be just easier, right? It'd be easier to just not like him, right? Because now he's a good guy and you don't want to not like him, and then you got to confront these issues with him, right? And then, and so it'd be just easier. But the first thing I'd like to tackle is when he said, when he named wrestlers and people like that. See, that's one big problem. Those people are great. Yeah, that could be over 1 million different people you could add on dollar cents change or whatever, right? But that's to name all the people he named discounts. Why is there not a black person there? You see what I'm saying? This is America. We were here. We were here from when they made money. We were here from when they built the first bricks, right? So then this is addressing why is there not this person? And so to bring up Tesla and all these guys, that's an issue. That's an issue that reverberates throughout the fiber of this country. That's an issue that's anchored this country in where we are today, right? Because these things don't matter as long as we keep pushing forward. And, it's easy to tell somebody just get over it and move on when you're good, right? When you're in a decent position. Like I tell a real quick story here.
Yeah.
People like that is that I'll explain it this way. It's like having a football game, right? Because I watched Dallas last night, right? It's like having a football game, a several 100-year-long football game. And in the beginning of the football game, there's the white, I guess the referees call it white and black, right? So I'm going to use those terms. The white team had all 12 men on the field. They were calling plays. They had a coach. Everything was great. And the black team they were only allowed to have 2 people on the field, right? 2 people on the field, and that's what they could play. They didn't have no bench or nothing. So the game goes along. Then all of a sudden the referee came. Referee wear the black and white shirts, right? So they mixed. they fair for everybody. The referee comes there to balance the game out, right? The referee comes there and says, hey, let's stop this. This is foolish. That's very unfair. This is awful. This is the worst thing I ever seen. Let the black people come on the field, get them with and all that, teach them how to play the game and all that, and then now let's play football. But you don't start the game over. The game starts in the third quarter where you up 1 billion to nothing. And the two people that were on the field at first are almost dead because they played to the third quarter.
Exactly.
Just 2 people against a whole football team, right? And then at the end, towards the end of this game or midway through this third quarter, we mad at the black team because they ain't caught up yet. That's kind of what this.
That's a good
like,
analogy,
right?
honestly.
Yeah.
You start.
We salted with them because they weren't able to catch up yet. The playing field is equal. Everybody got the same rules. What's wrong with this team? You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's like a race, you know, like you get a 10-hour head start.
That's why it's called race.
Yeah, well there you go.
Yeah. And so, and it's kind of like that. And so then to mention all of those people, all those great, the Carnegies and all those people, the Steele people and those people who built America, basically, through their being able to have ideals because they had money, because they weren't picking cotton and they didn't have time to think of stuff, right?
True. Very true.
So these were the people who built America that way, not physically. So, but then to say all of that and then leave out the people who are worthy too, that's almost saying that didn't matter. I know he's going to say he didn't mean that, but you get to not mean that. You don't have to think about those things, right? Just like when he said, nobody helped me in my life, this, that, and the other. Go read a study. There's a study that said home ownership for black people ain't nowhere near it, and that's the American dream in this country, right? You own a home, you own property, and it works for you. Well, this country has been able to make being black an aversion to wealth. Just your skin color. Meaning when you buy a home, and if 100 people buy a home in that neighborhood like you, your value is going to decrease, not increase. And it ain't just because you're bad people, right? It's not just because of that. It's because services and things, redlining still happens. And redlining was a real thing. Everybody admit that now because it's so long ago. But it still happens now, just not by names, where they draw a red line around neighborhoods, and banks leave there. Payday loans come, jobs leave there, and it's intentional, right?
Hey, you know what?
And so, you may think you didn't have no help, but your skin color was a help for you.
And see,
what I'm saying?
And that's the stuff, Jet, where, and I agree, and I think it's where it's perspective. Like, you don't know that unless you really have to be super intentional about finding out about it. And it is not easy. I mean, why would you even... Like, I'd imagine if I grew up white, why would I even think about that, or try to try to look at it. You don't have to.
That's why I hate Tim.
Yeah.
Tims, I put an S on it. Tims are frustrating. I don't hate them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they're just frustrating. Now they're bigger, but they are a bigger problem than the skinheads and people like that, because they even Tims don't like those guys, right? And those guys. There's not enough of them, and those guys tend to be uneducated for the most part, things like that, so they don't control wealth, and they don't control rules and laws, et cetera, et cetera.
And see, that's why
of the world who believes things don't matter, so you can just make a law that you think is fair for everybody, but the net catches more black people in it than your people. You see what I'm saying? And because when you look at opioids, when they start catching your people, then it becomes a crisis.
Yeah.
But when it's crack and it's catching all people, it's just what's wrong with these people making bad choices.
They need to stop. They need to stop smoking.
They need to just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop. Just say no. They had a whole campaign from the president down. Just say no. Some opioid people don't have to just say no.
They're gonna go.
Changing the way you buy from Walgreens, medicine from Walgreens, and
they're gonna go find you if you're taking it. Say, can we help you? They're gonna chase you down the street. If you don't want to be helped, they're gonna find you. We gonna help you. But look, think about this. This is why I kind of respect. That was kind of this is basically on the same topic though. It's like it's why I respect like old shows like on. You know what I mean? Like when I actually went back and watched those old. I don't know if you've ever seen that, Jay. I'm sure you probably have.
Man,
but
All in the Family is one of the best written shows ever on TV, and they could create that show again right now today.
Yes,
and still be the same relevance.
But look, check it out. Check it out.
That wouldn't work today on TV.
Some of the stuff they said, and see, I was watching reruns with my dad not too long ago. I was looking it up on YouTube. I'm like, I am shocked. I'm literally floored at how open and honest this show and real. From Archie trying to start a petition to stop the Jeffersons from moving in the neighborhood because it's going to bring the property values. And I'm like,
look up the one about the gun control issues.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Exactly.
Look, Archie.
Conversation going on today.
Archie and Michael's arguments are like literally what's happening now in America. It's unbelievable. It's crazy.
Yep.
Archie is a Trumper, like years ahead of time. Before.
Yeah.
Right. It's unbelievable.
Right. He was actually on time, but it's just sad that we've gone back in time.
Yeah. Exactly.
He was for his time. That's why I was able to be on TV then. He was for his time. But now, the stuff he says now, most people won't admit that they think like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's genius
but
stuff.
It's still the same thought. It was genius.
Yeah.
I love that show. It was genius. But yeah, I just those are the couple things I wanted to touch on.
Now, Jet, let me ask you this, if you had time. Would the judge Harriet Tubman just at the core? How do you feel? Because I know y'all talked about it Friday. But what you feeling?
I think it's sad because Judge Joe looks sad saying it. He looks pitiful, and I actually think Dr. Umar Johnson does not agree with him. And I think
you can tell.
People are anchoring the conversation like it's him and Dr. Umar Johnson because Dr. Umar has this blackmail of fronting more leadership women, emasculating men. He has that tone, but on this, he definitely didn't agree with Judge Joe, and he tried to give Judge Joe every opportunity to rephrase what he was saying.
Yeah,
you know, and he just did. He just did, and it needed to be rephrased. But obviously, those are Judge's thoughts, and that's the way he feels. Because I agree with him that it's their attempt. They like. I don't know if it's even an attempt, but they like how the look of it is. Right. If we add her before them, good move because it helps the agenda. Right. But you cannot argue with Harriet Tubman being on the 20. I don't care if she came first or whatever. And even if money disappears, like Tim says, then it's still history, right? Like he said, you can't change history. It's there. It's still history. We were included on the bills because we are included in this country, so they tell us. And as far as him talking about taking down the statues, you can't change history and all that. Well, this is a country that does not honor tyrants, right? Unless they agree with the tyrant. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Because if we honored people like Jackson and Nathan Bedford Forrest just because they were great military minds, well, then why don't we honor Yamamoto and Osama bin Laden, the two men who were able to stage an attack on our country during war, like no other country in the world has been able to do. We've been into China and all. Has been able to attack us on our soil. Well, Yamamoto did, him and his army, so that tells me he's a great general. He is a super general.
I don't see any statues.
Why ain't no Yamamoto buildings and statues named after him? Because we don't honor tyrants in this country. That's why. So it's belittling. It is belittling when you say he done some bad things, but in the time that was okay. Well, now these times we say that's not okay, so we don't want to honor something that's not okay. You know what I'm saying? We can still be in the history books.
Unless he's Nathan Bedford Forrest or Andrew Jackson or people like that. Exactly. And then we got to name everything possible, especially in Tennessee. I mean, his bust and statue was everywhere.
Yeah. Oop. I think we lost Jet there, and but hey, comments are welcome. 901-213-6020. And Josh,
and that was an accident, by the way. Yeah.
Okay. Can we?
Definitely.
The break. Yeah. Let's take a break right here, folks. And when we come back, we've got another hot topic that you don't want to miss. Well, it's local. Well, Judge Joe Brown is local, isn't it? He's local, isn't he?
I guess it depends on you. Here. But the topic is national.
It's national, but well, I think this other topic is probably national, but it's local. But it's a big, big topic, folks. We're going to talk about that and other things when we come back from the break. You're listening to Talk Back Live with Bob
and Josh.
10 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock Central Time, and a very pleasant good morning to you on a Monday morning. We'll be back after this.
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson with the Tennessee Highway Patrol, here to explain the Tennessee Hands-Free Law, which is a new state law effective July 1st, 2019. In Public Chapter 412, it makes it illegal for a driver to hold a cell phone or a mobile device with any part of their body, to write, send, or read any text-based communication, to reach for a cell phone or mobile device in a manner that requires the driver to no longer be in a seated driving position or properly restrained by a seatbelt, to watch a video or a movie on a cell phone or a mobile device, and to record or broadcast video on a cell phone or mobile device. So, can I still talk on my cell phone while driving? Yes. A driver is permitted to use an earpiece, headphone device, or a device worn on a wrist to conduct a voice-based communication. The driver may use one button on a cell phone or mobile device to initiate or terminate voice communication, and voice-based communication may also be used to send a text message. Learn more at handsfreetn.com.
CJ Used Appliances, located at 3530 Jackson Avenue here in Memphis, Tennessee. Call them at 901-487-7882. CJ Used Appliances have the best prices in town. Sales and service, heating and air. Also the best appliances you'll find anywhere in the Mid-South. Refrigerators, microwave stoves, washers and dryers, deep freezers, dishwashers, whatever you need in used appliances. And folks, I'm telling you, they're the best used appliances anywhere you'll find. That's CJ Used Appliances, 3530 Jackson Avenue. All appliances come with warranty. You can call them at 901-487-7882. Again, 901-487-7882. CJ Used Appliances. Graphics Printing, located at 890 East Range Road in Memphis, a complete print shop for all your printing needs. They do it all: color copies, resumes, funeral programs, rubber stamps, full-color business cards, wedding and graduation invitations, and more. 30-plus years of quality work and service. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., located at 890 East Range Road in Memphis, Tennessee, 901-345-9294. Graphics Printing.
You're listening to Talk Back Live with Bob and Josh. Talking about current events and topics that matter. Call in now. 901-213-6020. 901-213-6020. Now, here's Bob and Josh.
heard it from the Hollywood sources I have. These feminists are trying to do this movie so they can get a black woman put on a $20 bill. And they have no interest in this movie is to soften the public up to the idea of taking a black woman who frees slaves by leading them to freedom and getting her or another one like her on a $20 bill. They can't get a white woman, so they want a black woman. They don't care. They just want a woman, and it downs masculinity. Now, everybody on a bill is not a dead president. Don't forget Ben Franklin. He was never a president, so that's plenty of precedent to put in somebody black who was never a president. Like, let's say if we want to go back to the 19th century, like all of the rest of the people are on there, died off in the 19th century or the 18th century. We've got Ben Franklin, so we can have Frederick Douglass.
Okay. But you
see,
I mean, do you?
That's
you,
what I'm saying.
Okay, but you don't have a problem with a black woman, and in this case, Harriet Tubman, being memorialized in whatever way that comes. You don't have a problem with that, do you? Or do you?
I
have
got
a problem
big
with
problem if it's on a bill before they put a black man's face on one. I have a big problem with that.
Why?
Because
do you have a problem
historically,
with a black
the status
woman?
of an ethnic group is determined by its men, not its women. And that you put a black woman on there before a black man is insulting to the black race because you're saying the men ain't worth a damn. Put a woman up there first.
I disagree.
Well,
I disagree. I don't think
And the other
putting
thing is
Harriet,
black male leadership.
Honoring a black woman
need
does
to
not
lead the black race by saying impose your sense of responsibility on motherhood and start raising some decent young men instead of these little monsters that you have running around the house where you don't want to have a father involved with them. Start being real mothers and pay attention to it. That's what
honoring a black woman, Judge, how is that an insult to black men? I don't understand that.
Because if they had a black man on there, it wouldn't be. But if you put a black woman first, that's an insult to black men. Harriet Tubman rescued 250. She rescued maybe 250.
She actually rescued more than that. Judge.
Well, it may be,
that.
but there were black men that did something better than that too. One that's down here featured at a house going into North Memphis here, where they had an underground railroad, and the brother got several thousand black slaves to freedom. Okay. But they don't even commemorate him, and you can't even learn about it.
But Judge Joe,
you happen to walk in that monument.
But wouldn't you
what
agree?
The hell they
wouldn't you
want to
agree
do it because you led somebody to freedom?
Judge,
why don't they get the brother?
Judge, wouldn't you agree that Frederick Douglass, Dr. King, and Thurgood Marshall have all been exceedingly more celebrated and remembered in both black history and American history than Queen Mother Harriet Tubman?
They need They need to put them on a bill and show respect. They've got a homicidal maniac, Andrew Jackson, on a $20 bill. They've got a non-president, Benjamin Franklin, on a $50 bill. They've got Grant. They've got every Calvin Coolidge on a damn bill, too.
Douglas and King have been written about more than any other black hero in American history. Why not give
and I remember,
not give black women their opportunity, Judge?
I don't
Why
care.
Not give,
you put a black man on there first because the thing of it is they are not going to lynch. They are not going to generally lynch black women. They'll rape them, but they'll lynch the black men.
If they would have caught Harriet Tubman, they would have lynched
the daughters.
If they would have caught Harriet Tubman, they would have lynched them.
They go in and deal with getting rid of the men.
If they would have caught Harriet Tubman, they would have lynched the judge.
Stand and deliver, sacrifice self, be the last in the damn lifeboat when the women and children get in there first. You put a black man on the corner.
I hope you're not.
Okay.
I hope you're not.
I'm sorry. There's no way you
can
convince
I hope you're not a male chauvinist, Judge. I hope.
Okay. Well, there you have it.
Yes, I hope you're not a male chauvinist, Judge.
Well, do you think that Judge Joe Brown here is standing up for the black male and, wanting, to see the black race progress and
And you got to understand that, hey, you know, the black male is the one that's the leader, the leadership of the thing. So you want them to just hunt out black women and then just ignore black man. I think this is what he's talking about. And should his comment, does it make, let's put it this way, does his comment make sense to you? Should, you know, black men first or appointed to something first, or like the $20 bill before a black woman? Now, some of the people that were named were Thurgood Marshall.
Yeah.
Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
You know, so do you think he has a point?
You know what?
Honor the man first.
And shout out one of the watch parties. Got Rob Kent says Joe has lost it. And so Jamie O, really, Joe? Really? So look, here's the thing. Joe sound crazy when he talk. And Greg says, I think Joe said he is yeah, you know, that was funny. At the end of the video.
Yeah, he did.
He said, Joe, I hope, and I think he was halfway joking. The guy that was talking to him, he said, Dr. Umar, who was interviewing him, said, Joe, I hope you're not a male chauvinist. And he said, I am a male chauvinist. I'm like, oh, man. You ain't supposed to accept it, Joe.
Well, I think what he was trying to say is, you know, as far as him standing
up for black
men,
yeah.
You know, in that case, we've been pushed around and looked at as not relevant and that type of thing. And, you know, they whipped and beat and pushed around and hung black men. And, you know, but they took care of the black women. They didn't do them as bad. You know, like you said, they may have raped some of them, but they didn't.
Which is terrible.
But the black men, they put them out, hung them, whipped them, beat them, and spit on them and cussed them and be quiet. There's a reason why the black man was treated that way. Why? Because they didn't want the man the person of authority to be
in the household.
They didn't want that. That was a threat to them.
You break the man, you break it.
You break his spirit. Yeah, so you know, make him seem like he's nothing. You know, and so this is what they would do: beat the black man in front of his mama, beat the black man in front of his wife and his kids, and say, "Look, this is your man. We're beating him. Okay, look what he's worth. He ain't worth the dog because he can't even fight back." So that was a way of making the black man look less than what he was and is. And to make other people, black people, and the kids, and the mama, and his wife, and all the other people that are looking on, and say, hey, you know, this is okay. Look at your man. This is your husband. This is your man, huh? He can't even fight back. He want to fight back. He's, you know, and that type of. So it was trying to make them seem like they were nothing and nobody. So
now, do you think this was going on here again?
But it's going on in a subtle way.
Yeah,
subtle. Yeah. It's still going on, but it's not like it. They don't have the whips and them and beating them and all that other kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. What they do, they just hire a black woman and then forget about the black man. Mm-hmm. And then they'll have arguments between the black woman that's, well, I got me a job. You need to get you one. You know, well, the black man probably having problems getting a job, or because nobody in the white race that are hiring people want to hire the black man, but they hire the black woman to make the black woman think your man ain't nothing. He can't even do nothing. He can't and all that. Anyway.
And that's a point. And think about this. Think about how deep this could possibly go, right?
Yeah.
Is all the way down to the black children, men, boys, right? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm going to read that comment in a sec. I see it's kind of long.
Yeah.
But even going down to black boys and girls, but mainly boys, how, you know, a lot of men or boys are growing up without fathers in the household. Mm. They're kind of leaning on the mother more, and the mother has to take that role involuntarily. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes involuntarily. And then those black men are growing up having a disdain for other black men. Mm. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like a cycle. Then the black women come up with a bitterness toward black men because they either didn't have a father or they had bad relationships with black men.
Yeah, or the black man can't defend himself. Like the white man is a better man to me than the black man because he let the white man beat him around.
Mm-hmm.
He can't do anything. He can't defend himself. So, but this is a subtle way. I'm just talking.
Yeah. And
this is a subtle way of racism in a way that if the white man has it, he's not going to share it with but he'll share it with the black woman. But then that makes it look like the black woman is better than the black man because, they're going to give a black, the thing out there is that women, and especially black women, it's hard to get jobs and all that other. You ever heard that thing? And that they don't get in leadership and management and it's hard for black women. That's a lie. I know a lot of black women that get into management a whole lot easier than black men. And so why they keep playing that lie and making us believe that lie, that's not true. Black women can go just about anywhere and get a job or do something in society and be recognized. But black men, they're going to try to cut you off. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to try to cut you off because you're the leadership. You make it happen. But they don't want that to be seen by the black family, the black wife, or the mother, or anything like that. They want them to feel that black man is incapable. He is non-productive. He doesn't have it. He can't do anything.
Essentially trying to neuter the guy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, but anyway.
So here's a few comments that came up here. Frankie, when on the John Ford issue, said, I wouldn't vote for John, but it sounds like he's taking a page out of Trump's book about not following rules. Who needs rules?
Oh, God, yeah.
Says Trump. Greg says, I think Joe said he's a chauvinist. And that's,
he did.
Joe
He did.
Brown.
You're right.
I don't know if y'all saw my comment about a good message being destroyed by the words of the messenger. I did miss that one. But I see it now, and that's a thought. So he's saying basically the words of Joe Brown has been destroyed by the message coming from Joe Brown.
Yeah, that's true. But we must not allow ourselves a person that you feel that, he's not saying anything or not saying much, or he has a bad reputation. There are good things that can come from or a jackass.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not, I'm just saying, but there are good things, that can be said. So you just can't throw everything away that they say. See if they make sense first and not to just
throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah, I guess that's
as in that expression.
Yeah.
And I always laugh because that just sounds crazy. Why you just
Yeah.
throw the whole tub like that? But Jet says that's true too. He sent them underneath the home through a tunnel that led to the Mississippi River. And I guess what he's talking about is when Judge Joe was talking about a man that led a lot of people to freedom in the Memphis and stuff, where they then sailed to Ohio, then on to Canada for most. But a lot of men did something like that, but Tubman was the only woman on the front end of it. Even led a squadron during the Civil War, really under a white dude. But that makes her all the more special. I didn't know that about the squadron.
But she did under a white dude.
Well, I mean, ain't no black guys at the head of the Civil War at all. Like,
but what I'm saying is, why didn't the white dude accept the black guy and put him under him and lead him?
It maybe wasn't available at the moment. I don't know. Yeah. Harriet Tubman was there with a bunch of folks.
Okay.
That's just my.
I know. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Frankie says.
Let me scroll a little bit here.
I am sure.
Yeah, I see it. My mouse got to cooperate with me. Oh, there we go. Frankie says, I am sure there were a lot of black female slaves who would have preferred death to beatings, rapes, and starvation. That's true. Jet says, yes, traps are constantly set for black men to keep them out of the workforce, college, and in prison. So it will make sense when you wonder why there are few black men who are gainfully employed or even CEOs.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. But we don't want to accept that. We don't want to say, well, most of the time it's what the black man is doing and what he's not doing. He need to get it and go and get it, and then you know, do this and do it. Now, a lot of times, you know, you just can't get in because of denied. You've been denied the right to get in.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, people say, oh, that stuff that was back in that day. No, it's more subtle. It's going on today. They're just not saying straight up in your face, you're not getting it. You know, you get any phone calls and messages and anything back. And then when you do call, oh, we've already made our decision. You know, people have been through that. I've been through that in the past years, you know, and I knew I qualified for a lot of things better than what other folks that were given the position,
mm-hmm.
you know. So, but you know, but hey, you're not getting it. That's what they tell you, you know. Well, you know, blah blah blah. Okay, so what do? You know, and then that's where we, you know, come up. You try to do your own thing and you don't rely on them, but the fact still remains that there's some unfair business going on. And we have to realize that it is. Just because things are not like they used to be, it doesn't mean that everything's smooth. It's all over. No, it's still going on, but it's subtle. Well, we need to forget about that and move on. We're Christians now. No, see, that's even a bigger problem. That's even a bigger problem. If you're a Christian, then you ought to recognize even more of what's going on. That don't mean you overlook it and forget it.
Nah, definitely not.
No. You know what I mean? Just because you born again, well, I love Jesus now, so I ain't worried about it. No, you need to find out what's going on. You know, just because you're a Christian don't mean, you know, you're supposed to go dumb now. You know. So, and just overlook what's going on. No, Jesus was a very knowledgeable man, and he looked into things. Jesus was not a man that didn't know nothing. He studied. He was a man of a lot of studying.
Intellect.
Mm-hmm. Smart.
Intelligent.
Yes. Don't mean when you become a Christian, you become an idiot.
And just let the Lord...
well, we just gonna shout it out. No, you ain't shouting nothing out. You ain't shout out nothing. Be shouting, bucking, and strangling, and jumping around like a strangled chicken, and then get home, and then you still out. But at any rate.
Sounds like a future breaking bread topic.
You can't shout out nothing. You can't shout out, you know, people doing things and racism. You can't shout that out. You got to confront that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You got to talk about that stuff. You know, you
praise dance it out. I guess.
No, you can't praise dance it. Well, I want to go and get my praise on, and so I can forget it. But no, you're not gonna forget. You still gonna come out of that praise dance or whatever you're doing and jerking around and stumbling, foaming at the mouth, rolling on the floor, swinging on the chandeliers. Once all that's over, you still gonna have your problem. 901-210-20. Nobody wants to call me after all that. 9:51, 51 minutes.
What? They said I'm good.
That's the hour. Yes, I'm 9 o'clock. A very pleasant good morning to you on a Monday morning, and we're gonna have a great show tomorrow. I know we are last day tomorrow before Thanksgiving, and we'll talk about some things tomorrow. Great topics coming up for tomorrow as well, and you don't want to miss that coming up. Yes.
Also, remind the people on this afternoon, back with the sports show.
A lot of things going on in sports.
A whole lot of stuff, man. Really, since we left, everything kind of kicked off again. The Wiseman situation, we now know what's happening with that, with the suspension. The Tigers played their first game without him for this next long stretch here. And got a big win, the biggest win, I think, of the season so far against a team a lot of people feel is going to be an NCAA tournament team in Ole Miss. Gave them their first loss. We're going to talk about that. Also recap the weekend that was in sports and the weekend that was in Memphis sports.
Yeah.
As well with the Tigers, football and basketball on Saturday.
And the Titans, Tennessee Titans.
Yes, huge win.
Yes.
By the Titans this weekend against the Jags. Huge win. The tide is turning. Titans have won 4 of the last 5, so I'm going to get into that. The Grizzlies, a great showing against the Lakers in a loss, but they lost by 1. The number 1 team in the NBA. Ja Morant looks like a superstar. I'm going to get into that. So much other stuff as well. Your phone calls, comments, everything else. So y'all stay tuned coming up today, this afternoon, 2 to 3 p.m.
All right. And that's going to do it for us today. And, hey, we appreciate your phone calls, your comments, and everything you've said and done. And, but, hey, we'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. to do it all over again. Talk Back Live with Bob and Josh. Talk Back Live Sports this afternoon, 2 to 3. And we're developing other programs. We're going to be on the station as well. Talking about network. And so stick around for that. Hey, it's been a wonderful day. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you again tomorrow on this show on Talk Back Live. Have a wonderful day on a Monday.
You're listening to Talk Back Live with Bob and Josh. Talking about current events and topics that matter.
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson with the Tennessee Highway Patrol, here to explain the Tennessee Hands-Free Law, which is a new state law effective July 1st, 2019. In Public Chapter 412, it makes it illegal for a driver to hold a cell phone or a mobile device with any part of their body, to write, send, or read any text-based communication, to reach for a cell phone or mobile device in a manner that requires the driver to no longer be in a seated driving position or properly restrained by a seatbelt, to watch a video or a movie on a cell phone or a mobile device, and to record or broadcast video on a cell phone or mobile device. So, can I still talk on my cell phone while driving? Yes. A driver is permitted to use an earpiece, headphone device, or a device worn on a wrist to conduct a voice-based communication. The driver may use one button on a cell phone or mobile device to initiate or terminate voice communication, and voice-based communication may also be used to send a text message. Learn more at handsfreetn.com.
CJ Used Appliances, located at 3530 Jackson Avenue here in Memphis, Tennessee. Call them at 901-487-7882. CJ Used Appliances have the best prices in town, sales and service, heating and air. Also the best appliances you'll find anywhere in the Mid-South. Refrigerators, microwave stoves, washers and dryers, deep freezers, dishwashers, whatever you need in used appliances. And folks, I'll tell you, they're the best used appliances anywhere you'll find. That's CJ Used Appliances, 3530 Jackson Avenue. All appliances come with warranty, You can call them at 901-487-7882. Again, 901-487-7882. CJ Used Appliances. Graphics Printing, located at 890 East Range Road in Memphis, a complete print shop for all your printing needs. They do it all. Color copies, resumes, funeral programs, rubber stamps, full-color business cards, wedding and graduation invitations, and more. 30-plus years of quality work and service. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., located at 890 East Range Road in Memphis, Tennessee, 901-345-9294. Graphics Printing. C&S Motors Auto Sales, located at 2508 Summer Avenue, here in Memphis, Tennessee. Call them at 901-323-8778. C&S Motors Auto Sales has been around since 1984. Go by and see Chris today for some of the best pre-owned and used vehicles in the city. They have SUVs, minivans, cars, trucks, whatever you're looking for in pre-owned used vehicles. Hey, you can find it right there at C&S Motors Auto Sales. See Chris since 1984. They will treat you right. Call them at 901-323-8778. That's 901-323-8778. 2508 Summer Avenue, C&S Motors Auto Sales.